All right, call the show. 585-210-3917. Jeff, calls right now. You
Hey
got it.
guys, that's what I said. When we get it done, we get it done for real. We got Jeff Reed, who's going to be calling in the show, former Pittsburgh Steeler kicker, Super Bowl kicker. He'll be calling into the show, so he's going to be calling in a couple minutes. So we'll grab Jeff on early. He's supposed to be on a little later. The timing was impeccable. As soon as he started, he jumped on. But that's what it's all about. That's what way we do it here on Steeler Nation. So we're going to head out there. We're going to wait on his call real quick. There's a lot to talk about, especially with the Steelers actually going up, brother.
Yeah,
going down home and coming out empty-handed, James.
Empty-handed.
Oh, here we go. I think he's on already, so we're gonna hit him up early. All right. I think I got him on. Give me a sec, guys. Let's see if I can get him in there.
Well, did you hang up on him? Nice.
I'm not sure. Oh, there he is. Yep. Give us 1 second there, Jeff. Yeah, I hear you.
Well, while we're getting this ready, we're trying to connect with Jeffrey. I want to do a big shout out to Dad Owen, Bill Owen tomorrow, 80th birthday, Dad. We're here at Steeler Nation Live. We want to wish you a happy birthday, and you wouldn't know by looking at you. You're 80. I love you, Dad, and I can't wait to see you. And happy birthday goes out to Bill Owen, father, patriarch of Steeler Nation Live.
All right, Jeff, I believe you're online, aren't you?
Sounds like it to me.
Oh
yeah, we got you. Jeff Reed, former Super Bowl champion of Pittsburgh Steelers, and one of our great friends here at Steeler Nation Live. Jeff, welcome to the show. How you been?
Man, I'm Megan. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I know it's so hard to get a hold of you. You're flying here, you're flying there. You just came in flew in from Pittsburgh. We're at the game. Your thoughts on the game from what your aspect from what you saw personally.
Well, personally, I was at the game, so the one thing I'll never do is degrade any coaches, any players, or any decision making, because bottom line in this world, we're all human beings. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. Of course, when you come to sports, you want your team to win everything. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes I thought there was no way in the world we were going to lose to New England. But obviously, I asked about 20 people. I said, man, why is the spread? Why are we underdogs at home?
Right.
Well, that goes to show that's why. Because Vegas knows something we don't, apparently. But so what I will say, being at the game, I was in the stands with my sister and about 4 of her friends, a couple of my friends, and everybody was awesome. I signed autographs, took pictures all day. It was awesome. Made me feel really good. Like I've actually accomplished something in that organization, which I have, but it makes you feel good.
Sure.
And, every play on offense, defense, it was okay. Defense did pretty well, as they usually do. Regardless, obviously TJ Watt being out hurts, but you cannot depend on one dude when you got 11 guys on that field.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not in a bad way. It's just, that's life. People get injured. It's a dangerous sport. However, that being said, every time they were on offense, the guy behind me was, I don't even know his name, but I did have a talk with him. He was criticizing every decision by Trubisky, every offensive lineman, every coach. And I said, hey, bro, at halftime. Because I had all of 12 minutes at halftime.
Nice.
Because that's what an NFL halftime is. And I said, hey, bro, like, are you a coach? And he goes, nah. I said, okay. And I said, so let me just put this in perspective. I understand this isn't going as we planned because we want to be about 30 at halftime, right? Oh, because everybody's perfect. And I said, but why are you playing Mitch on every single play? Do you think they don't call those plays? I said, I'm a Tar Heel. I'm biased. He's a Tar Heel. I said, but at the same time, do you think it's his fault? And he said, yes. And I said, wow, really? And I said, wow, really? I said, well, and he knew who I was. And I said, I was not a quarterback. I was not in a different position. But all the other guys that play those so-called athletic positions can't do what I do. We all have our talents. And I said, I'm certainly not a coach outside of special teams and kickers and punters and snappers. And I said, but why would you blame so far what's happened in the first half on one guy? And he said, because he sucks.
All right.
And then all of a sudden so just for the sake of your show not taking 2 hours in a 10-minute segment, he said, you know what, I'll listen to you. And I said, well, not too many people do. That's why I'm single. But listen to me for 1 second.
Oh, boy.
And he goes, I will. And I said, Trubisky is a veteran. Hand in Chicago. He learned from Josh Allen in Buffalo. Doesn't mean he's Josh Allen, but he learned from Josh Allen in Buffalo. He is a veteran. Kenny Pickett's going to be your guy, but he's not your guy week 2.
No.
So there's something going on we don't know. And like I said, I don't blame anybody because I'm not a play caller. I don't even know half the plays they call. But it looks to me, because everybody wants to fire Matt Canada, but it looks to me as they are so conservative, they hope and pray they win by 1 every game.
Right.
Yeah. And you know as
so
well
my
as
thing is, you know what I told somebody? I hosted 2 tailgates and I did a private signing all within about 36 hours.
nice.
Wow.
And I said, when people ask me questions, and if they ask stupid questions, I shake their hand and keep it moving. But when they ask me questions like this, I say, you know what it is, man? The biggest thing is you put your trust in this guy. You paid this dude. Like all those, this is Mitch I'm talking about. But outside of everything else, Mason Rudolph's one of my boys, so I'm going to defend him either way.
Right.
And obviously in college, he was a badass.
Yeah.
So it ain't like he sucks. And they, they're chanting Kenny, and then they're booing Mason in the preseason game I was at. I mean, like, do y'all want to win, or do y'all want everyone to fail so you can say I told you so?
Yeah, it's
Figure
true.
it out.
That's a good point.
And then all of a sudden, he got real quiet, and I said, you know what? If I was the offensive coordinator, and I don't even know what the play call would be, I would rather throw 3 deep balls on first, second, third down, and just get 3 opportunities for either a catch or an interception.
Yeah.
Because at least you're stretching the field.
Right. Absolutely.
I said, when you throw 2-yard passes and you depend on Najee Harris, who was obviously a great running back.
Yeah.
But that's when defense, you're playing a top 5 defense in New England for the rush. So you ain't going to win with Najee Harris.
Right.
That's what they're stopping. So, but if you're throwing screens, that's a running play. So common sense says you got to open up that playbook a little bit. So what I'm saying to y'all is, in that long-winded answer, is if you don't open up the playbook for somebody, they can't succeed. It's not their fault.
There you go.
I agree.
Now, when Mitch threw a pick, yeah, it wasn't a good decision. But you know what? Once again, as I went back to the first thing I said, we're all human.
Right.
But the one thing I will say is, if you don't give somebody a chance, of course they won't succeed.
Right. Exactly. Now, can you agree with me on this, Jeff? From what you've seen so far during the year, that we're playing not to lose, we're not playing to win, and there's a difference.
That's 100% right. And I told somebody, because I was in Scottsdale for the opening weekend at a Steelers fan club, and I mean it was awesome. Like, people are awesome. I mean, there were 100 people there. And I'm flying out of 17 weeks of football, 18 weeks, I guess, because there's a bye week. I'm flying or being somewhere 11 of the 18 weeks, and this is the first time in my life outside of football, outside of actually playing, because COVID and last year was okay, but not as good. This is the first time I've been on the road that many weeks in that span. but it's exhausting, but cool.
Right. Yeah.
And what these people don't realize is they ask so many questions about, what do you think about this? What do you think about, and I said, listen, I played for 9 whole seasons there. I was in my 10th when I got released. And I said, every time we were up 20-0, 20-3, 20-6, 17-0, I somehow was in the equation with under 2 minutes left, and I shouldn't have been.
Yeah, exactly. And we seen it against Cincinnati.
Meaning you shouldn't have to use a kicker when you're beating somebody's ass.
Exactly.
If you like, you have on the road. And nothing against Cooper Rush. Right. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback, but I would have taken Cincinnati on the road against Dak Prescott.
Oh, exactly.
And obviously Cincinnati they'll probably be right in the playoff mix at some point, but they're 0-2. They're in scramble mode and they got 15 games left. So the bottom line is, I just don't understand. And I'm not saying the coaches can play the games for the guys, because they can't. I just don't get why you cannot absolutely destroy somebody and then maybe go to prevent the last 5 minutes if you're up by 30.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But
I don't get it.
Well, let's look at the Cincinnati game real quick, Jeff, because I know your time is limited right now. But we talked about this last game.
You're good. I got 10 minutes. What's up?
Well, you look at the stats on our side of the ball. We have 7 sacks and 5 turnovers. All right. You look at those stats alone, you would think that was a blowout victory, and there was no way that Cincinnati would have been in that game. And we end up winning in overtime.
That's my point.
And then you look at their stats, all the plays they had, all the first downs they had, the time of possession was over 44 minutes. You look at that stat and you think that team won. But I don't understand. Right. When you go into halftime up 17-6 and you're pretty much running the show and you're dominating both sides of the ball, all facets of the game. You're talking even special teams with Presley Harving, nailing 69, 70-yard punts and Boz hitting them long field goals. You would think that this game is pretty much in the book. Let's just keep on riding this train until the game's over. And this is how Pittsburgh plays in the last 10 years, that they dominate early, and halftime they play not to lose. They don't play to win. And it's very frustrating.
Well, let me tell you something, man. The best. I don't care. There's a lot of great coaches out there, and I'm not dogging anybody, because I'm a coach, but I coach a specific position. But what I will say is Dick LeBeau was, if not the best, obviously top 2 or 3. But I'd probably say the best just because I'm biased.
Sure.
So that being said, we would be destroying people, and then all of a sudden lay off.
Yeah.
And
don't get it.
And it's, I guess that's football, but you start to look into things, and this has nothing to do with the Patriots game, but you start to look into things like, damn, did they get paid off? Damn, because people ask me all the time, you played for 9 years, did you get paid off to miss a kick? And I said, let me tell you something. I don't care if they offered $10 million. I'm not going to miss on purpose.
No.
I said, because I got too much pride. I just got too much pride.
Yeah.
And it's not like it hasn't happened in professional sports either. You look at the 1980s basketball, you look at over in Europe, the soccer. It can happen. And plus, when like you said it earlier, Jeff, with the Vegas and in the scoring, they know something that we don't know, and beating the spread and not beating the spread.
How the hell did the home opener? Yeah, we just upset, which to me was an upset. You're 7-point underdogs.
Correct.
I mean, you just upset Joe Burrow and the boys at their homecoming right after they made the Super Bowl that nobody expected.
Correct.
Like that should never be. I mean, even if you covered a spread, you shouldn't win the game.
Right. We're in the jungle.
I mean, and I totally get it. But then you go home against somebody that just got their asses whooped by the Dolphins.
Right.
And that's a division rival. You go home as your home opener and you got a letdown. So I'm not going to point fingers. Something's wrong and they better fix it quick because they got a game in 48 hours.
Oh boy. and I'm glad you brought that up, Jeff.
And if you sit there and shit the bed at Cleveland with Jacoby Brissett, you're going to get booed out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. So like you said, short week. We'll be in Cleveland. Your take, your score, Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm only a betting man when it comes to funny stuff. But when I saw the Steelers were +5, I was like,
oof,
somebody's drunk. Now they're +4.5.
Oh boy.
Because everybody's taking the Steelers, and then you got Jadeveon Clowney out.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think there's any way in the world the Steelers lose this game.
And because
it might be 3-2. It might be 3-2. Boswell beat the safety.
Right, because Cleveland always has, historically with the Pittsburgh Steelers, have shot themselves in the foot, and they've found ways to lose. And I agree with you, Jeff. I think we're going to win this, but we'll talk about our scores later. But right now we have you on the phone. Folks at home, if you're just tuning in, we have Jeff Reed back on Steeler Nation Live, former football Super Bowl champion of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jeff Reed, your take on the score.
Let's see. I don't even know what the over-under is. I think it's like 39 or something crazy because I do look at that now that I'm not playing. So I would say if you're a betting man, take the Steelers money line and under. And I would say it's going to be about a 17-14 Steelers win.
I agree.
I agree. That vaunted 17-14.
Yeah, I think it'll be closer than it's supposed to be. But the fact that Cleveland blew it last week and had a chance to be atop the division without their guy.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
And Joe Flacco beats you? Come on, bro. I mean, Flacco had his days now, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, he did.
But he's a true backup. So you shouldn't lose to him.
Should. Absolutely.
And especially when you up by 13 with a minute and a half left.
Not even. About a minute 20.
Yeah, whatever it was. Anything under 10 minutes, you shouldn't lose.
Right.
Yeah, that's 2 scores. That's 2 possessions right there. So, all right, Jeff. Thank you.
So the bottom. Yeah, of course, man. I think that all Steelers fans out there, because y'all got a pretty good following, man. So I think everybody needs to be patient. I know there's a lot of finger pointing already. They're 1-1. Everybody's 1-1. Man, in the division, so everybody needs to chill out.
We could have been 0-2, Jeff. We should have been 0-2.
Well, you should have been, but not really. You should have blown out the Bengals.
Correct. Yeah, sure. Correct.
Right. Or at least a 10-point win. Let's say blowout, probably not. 10-point win, and you definitely should not lose at home to. Even though Belichick's a genius, you should not be losing to Mac Jones at home.
No.
When they just got blown out by the Dolphins.
Plus,
but New England's defense is legit.
Yeah.
So there's the thing. You just bottom line is you got to open the playbook up. You got to hold on to the ball. You got to take care of the ball. You can't turn the ball over. And obviously you got one of the best kickers in the league, if not the best. So in our division, we got 3 of the best kickers in the NFL. There's about 10 great kickers. Just because I'm a kicker, that's why I'm talking about it.
Sure.
There's about 10 great kickers and there's about 22 average kickers. When I played, there are 25 great kickers and there are about 7 pretty damn good ones. So right now you got an elite division of kickers. So that's the last thing you need to worry about is missing a game-winning field goal. But you also need to put people away when you got the opportunity.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
Amen. All right, you heard it live here at Steel Nation Live. Jeff Reed, former Super Bowl champion, the Pittsburgh Steelers, coming back on Steel Nation Live. Jeff, we love you, appreciate you, and thanks for coming on again. Your time is precious to us, and we appreciate you, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll get you back on next show.
Hell yeah, man. I'll see you guys soon, man. Talk to you soon. Appreciate you, man.
You got it, Jeff. Love you. We'll talk to you.
All right.
Love you guys. See you.
All right, Jeff. Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. When you get somebody on like Jeff Reed, like I said, this guy's won championships with the Pittsburgh Steelers kicking. This guy's done a lot of stuff, and he's out there doing it well again, giving us much time, talking to us on the air. That's what it's all about. Yeah, guys, we're going to open up the phone lines in a little bit because we had some phone numbers that was clashing with each other. So, and like you said, the show goes on. But James, we also have to talk about as well. Everybody's on the Mitch Trubisky hate train.
Hate train.
And they've got good reason. Now, can we blame everything on Mitch? You know what I mean? That's the thing about it. Is that the thing to do? Mitch had some things that didn't go his way. Mitch, I believe, like he said, Jeff called it correctly. He's not given a fair shot. No. If he's not given a fair shot, then how's that fair to Mitch? I mean, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have certain plays. There's certain things going on, audibles, calling what the play is supposed to call. I mean, when you get up to the line and like Jeff said, Mitch is a veteran. He's played. He's been around the block. So when you come up to the line of scrimmage and you're told to call this certain play and you can't audible, I mean, you have milliseconds to call the play. And then once you call the play and it doesn't work out, everybody's like, oh man, he's horrible. He sucks. Get him out of there. And it's not really per se Trubisky. I mean, we'll look. Yeah. I mean, if you look back at when Roethlisberger was still here, I mean, it's just like, doesn't matter what quarterback's there now. It's the play calling. It's the setup. And some things have to be changed about that because it doesn't matter what quarterback you have back there. If you're still doing the plays that you're supposed to do or you're called, then what are you going to do? I mean, it all looks like you. It all falls down on you. So and now everybody's starting to come out with, Matt Canada. It's time to fire him. It's it's half empty, half full. We talk about this all the time. Now, if you look at how it was before and now it's continuing, I could see people, I could understand completely that, what, we've seen enough of this. It's time for him to go. But then again, you got to look, it's so early in the season. You have new offensive linemen. You have a new quarterback. You don't have Ben back there. But it just seems like the same. It's very frustrating. And folks, I read all the comments. I hear all the comments. I see all the comments. We understand. It's very frustrating. But let me ask you this, folks. Call in 585-210-3917. Let me know your thoughts. If we fire Matt Canada, who's going to replace him? Everybody wants him fired, but I haven't heard anybody say, well, let's replace him with this guy or that guy. Who out there are we going to replace him with?
Yeah.
We already started the season. I mean,
we need answers.
Yeah, but it's a knee-jerk reaction. I've had it. You've had it. We all had it because it's the frustration. We're angry. But if somebody out there can call in and tell us who we can get to replace him, I would love to hear it. Yeah, but you just can't fire somebody and then what?
Well, yeah. Well, I think we got somebody on the line. Who do we got on the line here on Still Nation Live tonight?
ATL, Georgia.
Oh man, if this ain't this is the guy we call Cowboy Lover. He called in the Still Nation Live to stir things up, and that's what it's all about.
Oh man, you don't have too much in that pot to stir. I'll tell you that right now.
All I'm gonna say is too good to be Trubisky.
Nice, I like that one. That's a T-shirt.
Now,
good to be true.
Now, he and I, we both talked offline. I mean, let me ask you this? It was another phone call we got coming in too. Holy smoke, is lighting up tonight. Let me ask you this. Now, if you look at it, Trubisky, yeah, he had his issues. Trubisky, missed passes. Trubisky missed open receivers. Trubisky threw no further than the line of scrimmage. But is it truly Mr. Trubisky? I mean, don't get me wrong. He's out there on the
Look
field.
what he did in Chicago.
Well, Chicago was
Where'd
trash.
Chicago go?
Chicago was trash. Pittsburgh were not trash.
But if you're a leader, you're supposed to be the leader. I'm even going to talk about my quarterback, Dak, last week, coming talking about his ankles hurting because he bought some Jordan cleats or whatever. Like, dude, you just got a $40 million contract. What are you talking about? Get out there and play the game.
He's got them raccoon
Keeping it
ankles.
real.
Look like chicken wings.
But I'm just keeping it real. He bought that on himself, I think, subconsciously throughout the universe. You know, that's another story. But when his thumb got hurt, because he's talking about he was hurt before the game, and at the end of the fourth quarter, he gets hurt. But I say all that to say, he talking about Dak like that, and I love my Cowboys. I love Dak. Still love him. Happy he got paid. But Trubisky, he has a history, you know? And his history is repeating itself.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean,
he's not a leader. He's a good backup quarterback, I would say.
Well, that's what he was. But the problem was that he came to a team needing a starting quarterback. And you got to put the pieces where they belong at this point. And now I remember back not too long ago where a guy named Ben Roethlisberger from Miami of Ohio, they threw in a game because Maddox was hurt and the other backup was hurt. We had so many quarterbacks in and out through the thing, and he comes in, he wins 14, 15 games in a row. I mean, could Pickett be the guy? Who knows? But guess what?
So I think y'all have a better chance with Kenny Pickett, man. I really do believe that.
Well, here's the deal. According to preseason stats, everybody was pretty much legit the same. And me and Sanders talked about this offline. We're kind of figuring out, well, how can that possibly be? There are three different styles of quarterback. It's the play calling. If somebody told me to make some pasta, all right, and I made some pasta, and somebody said, Tiz, make some pasta. Here's the ingredients you need. It's pretty much going to be the same. All right. But if you said, Tiz, you make what you want and tell me to make what I want to make, obviously it's going to be different kinds of pasta because that's what he can do. And this is what I can do. But when you get in that setting where you're told this is what you're going to do, it's if you don't have that opportunity to be you, this is what you're going to get. And until somebody decides, hey, you're a veteran, you're the quarterback, you're the leader, you get up to that line, you call the play that you think. Now, if that was the case and Trubisky was still playing the way he's playing, then it's all on him. But you can't force a veteran to do certain plays and expect different results. You can't. It's not fair. And if Pickett were to come in, same thing. He might make a couple more passes. He might escape, a couple more sacks, might run the ball a little longer than Trubisky may. But look at all the quarterbacks. Look at all the quarterbacks that have played. Ben, Rudolph, same stuff. The same short passes. You're not letting your quarterbacks open up.
Defenses haven't had a chance to get or feel the aura of Kenny Pickett yet. That's a weapon right there in itself because they really don't know he's going to play. So they don't even know how to call the plays regarding him. So that's an asset.
Yeah.
Battle.
Right.
When the other side doesn't know how to attack, they're on the rebound really. And Trubisky, he had some completions and stuff, but I told Big Tiz this. I said he's going to come and bring Chicago with him.
All right. On that note, we have other callers.
This thing blow it up.
All right, fellas.
Hey,
thanks for the call. We appreciate you.
That's my brother there. Like I said, he calls it like he sees it. He's a Cowboy fan, so he sees it from another direction. But brother,
Cooper Rush,
we'll hit you up. We get another call coming in here, so I'm gonna hit it up.
All right,
my brother.
Yeah, great show.
Let's see if we can get the other call in.
Yeah, phone lines are blowing up, folks.
Oh, I believe it's in there. Hey, welcome to Steeler Nation Live. Who do we have on the line?
This is Drew. How you guys doing?
Hey, Drew, how you doing? Hey, you just got to turn your background sound down a little. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you good now?
Beautiful. Beautiful. Drew, welcome to Steeler Nation Live. What you got?
No, I just wanted to talk about the whole Trubisky situation as well as Pickett.
Love it.
So, I mean, the Steelers are kind of at a crossroads, right? Because Trubisky were to start out, in his next, say, 6 games, 3-3, 4-2, he probably holds on to the job. But, if he only wins one more game the rest of the way, or maybe none at all, then you got to give way to the rookie and see what you got in him, because the way the rookie contracts are structured, you've got pretty much 3 seasons to see if he's the guy or not. So you have to, see what you have in him. You invested the first round pick in him, put him out there and see what he can do if you're not getting the wins and not getting the results that you were expecting with having Trubisky in there.
Well, let me ask you this, and I like that what you said. You brought up a great, valid point. The fact is is it all Trubisky? And I don't think it's all Trubisky. And like we said, if you're playing unfairly, you got a young rookie. Well, not rookie. He's a veteran, but you got a young quarterback who you said come in, don't lose the game, and on top of don't lose the game, let's handcuff you, and we're gonna keep you in this bottled situation. I say right now, the Steelers to me, we're in a rebuilding mode. And as you can see on the graph, what we got on the screen, a lot of his passes were within the line of scrimmage there. A lot were off to the left. A lot were off to the right where he's using the sidelines for protection. But let me ask you this. Do you yourself, as a true, honest fan, think it's that time to pull the wrapper off our young rookie quarterback?
I don't think it's time yet, but before the end of the season, they got to see what they have in the kid, because Trubisky's not the future, right? Because they signed him to, I think it's a 2-year deal, but they have an opt-out probably after the first year. And like we said, we invested the first round pick in Pickett, so you have 3 years to see if he's capable or if he's not capable. So the mode right now is to win games. I think, to your point, they need to open up the offense. They have capable receivers in, on the outside with Johnson and Freemuth.
Yep.
So they need to open up the offense and, see if Trubisky is equal to the task.
Let's not forget about Claypool. I mean, 6'4", 200 and some 20 pounds in the slot. I mean, you got to open this guy up. You got to let him go. And if you put Pickett in the same situation, it's people are going to say, well, we wasted a draft pick on him. But you have to let these guys go. You have to get out there. You drafted them, you signed them, you gave them a contract, you're paying them. Let them do their job. Don't handcuff them like you said, Sanders. Let them get up there. Let them call the plays. Now, if they're calling bad plays, making bad decisions, then it's not for them. Then you could yank them. But right now, you can't. It's unfair to have Trubisky go in there, run these mediocre, predictable, shallow plays, and then expect them, okay, let's say go downfield and not to be primed. I mean, you have to go out there, let him put the ball in his hands, let him win the game for you. It's not a game to not lose. It's a game to win. And this is what they're doing with the quarterbacks right now. Matt Canada, I saw his interview earlier today, or press conference, and I wasn't sold on anything he had to say. And it was just like politics. You just telling people what they want to hear, but actions speak louder than words. And when you give that ball to your quarterback, you have to let them play the game. And it's kind of hard when you're handcuffed.
Yeah, you're not going to win too many games dinking and dunking 3, 4, 5-yard passes at a time. I mean, it just doesn't work. When you look at the more successful offenses in the league, when you look at the Kansas Cities, the New Orleans, the Miami this past week, you saw that they threatened the defenses downfield. Whether it's complete, incomplete, or you got a pass interference, you have to have that threat of pushing the ball downfield. You have to make the defensive coordinators think. You have to keep the defensive backs on their toes. You can't attack a defense with, screens behind the line of scrimmage or, 4-yard screen plays. It's just not going to work.
Well, another perfect example would be, look at the Buffalo Bills, how Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, McKenzie, Gabriel Davis, even Knox, how they open up the secondary with just, making plays. And the offensive line of Buffalo Bills, they're pretty solid. But, Allen's been under attack quite often, and he's gotten himself out of it because he's in control of the game. And he's opening up that offense. And I can tell you other teams that do the same thing. You're not going to win every game, but you have a better chance of winning your game if you're opening up and not becoming predictable like we are. Have we been for the past 5-10 years? And defenses, they know we're not running the ball anymore. We're doing the short passes. So that just pretty much eliminates 90% of your offensive game scheme. And this is why we come up short, and this is why we cannot be competitive.
I agree with everything you just said. They need to get a little bit more creativity into the offense. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Well, I like these little flea flicker, half-ass plays that they call. To mix things up. Yeah, it's cute. But you got to utilize more of your talent on offense than and these jet sweeps are getting old too. And teams are, I mean, when you line up all the time in the same formation, guess what? Jet sweep. Steelers aren't going to run the ball. They're not going to run it. So they keep their nickel backs, they keep their safeties back, and it's disastrous if we keep on going this way.
And it's a shame too, because the defense has been doing its part. At least this season, they've been doing their part in the games and, keeping the score low, keeping the opponents out of the end zone. Micah Fitzpatrick, he's been excellent ever since he got to Pittsburgh. It's just a shame to see them play hard week in, week out, and the results aren't there.
I agree.
Hey, let me ask you this before we let you head on out. And again, thanks for calling in tonight. Give us a score for the game, Steelers versus the Browns in Cleveland.
Oh, this is a tough one. Brissett versus
Trubisky.
They'll probably put Trubisky back out there. Yeah. I'm going to say, Pittsburgh wins somewhere in the neighborhood 2016, something like that. Short week. It'll probably be a low-scoring game. Yeah, I got him taking a score about 2016.
All right, beautiful. Drew, thanks for calling in. Just in case you're just tuning in for the first time, Drew, we're here every Tuesday night, 6:00. Same bat channel, same bat time. We'd love to have you call back next Tuesday, and hopefully we can talk about a great win in Cleveland. And we appreciate you listening, Drew, and you have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
All right, thanks for having me call in.
Hey, that's what it's all about, guys. Like I said, still the nation is rolling out in this joint. We losing, but guys, the fans are calling in because, like I said, it's an up in the air thing with the whole Mitch Trubisky situation.
Well, let's talk about the division, folks. It was a bad day for the AFC North. I mean, everybody in division lost. The Ravens lost, the Browns lost, the Steelers lost, the Bengals lost. But the two of the games that, besides our game, was, it is what it is. Two games that very, very surprisingly, that division lost. Let's talk about the Ravens and the Dolphins. Now, last week, Dolphins opened up the season and they won everybody. They can't wait to play the next opponent, and they were talking a lot of smack about the Ravens. Well, Ravens coming to town, and next thing you know, the Ravens are blowing them out. I mean, they couldn't stop the Baltimore offense, anything. I believe that Lamar Jackson had an 80-yard run untouched. I mean, and just blowing out the Dolphins. And then next thing I get a text message, hey, Dolphins just tied up the Ravens. And I was like, what the fuck? I say, whatever. So I looked like an idiot, and, and it was true. And then the Dolphins end up winning 42-38. I think they tied it up at one point, 35-35. Then the Ravens took a 38-35 lead, and then Miami came out of nowhere. And then the game that I really want to talk about, because we're going to play the Browns on Thursday, the Jets down by 14 points with 1:20 left to go in the game. And like Jeff Reed said, if you're up by 2 touchdowns with at least 10 minutes to go in the game, you should win that game. There's no reason why. It's not like they're the Jets. I mean, it's not like they're Super Bowl champion or
Jets, Jets.
Whatever.
I love it.
And it was fantastic. And then the Bengals had every opportunity to beat the Dakless Cowboys. Yes, I said the Dakless Cowboys. And it didn't matter because I think they may have wanted Dak in for that because Cooper Rush comes out of nowhere, and it wasn't like a blowout victory, but I mean, he had some, some flashes of grace back there.
Yeah.
And he really won the game for the Dallas Cowboys. And it wasn't Ezekiel Elliott because he's been non-existent for the past couple of years. And it's just
he's a bum.
He is a bum. Correct. And for all you Dallas Cowboy fans out there, it's in care of Sanders Tisdale,
That's right,
Rochester,
baby.
New York. All your fan mail goes right to him. But yeah, I mean, it was a great day for us because it kept us the top of the division. But I mean, Sanders, how long are we going to stay at the top playing the way we're playing?
Not long. Not when you need help all the time or whatever. Because and I do agree with some things Tomlin says. You know what? If you put yourself in a position at the end of the game where you need a kicker, then whatever the outcome is, that's your fault. If you put yourself in bad positions in games, whatever the score is at the end, it's your fault. And I agree 100%. The Steelers have to continue to play better on defense. They play well on defense, but they have to continue this until TJ Watt can make that comeback. And that's a long stretch. You got the Buffalo Bills in between there. And you got a lot of teams who I think are going to give the Steelers problems. But the thing about it is, if the Steelers can get that rest on defense instead of these continued 3 and outs, that's what kills that defense. These 3 and outs, the defense giving us good field position with the ball, and we're doing nothing with it. So
we talked about this offline, and how the defense, if they're out there pretty much the whole game, they're getting tired. You're getting tired. But we haven't talked about this at all. While the defense is out there busting their ass, what's their offense doing? They're on the sideline. They should be well rested to come in and and take over. And it's unfortunate. I don't know what they do on the sidelines while they're resting, because you do a 3 and out, and then defense is on there for 7-8 minutes. You're resting for 7-8 minutes. Get back in there. You should be fresh. We don't see that. All comes down to play calling and then execution. So we're having problems executing, and these vanilla, watered down plays. It's just predictable. It's frustrating. It's just out of our minds. And a lot of stuff going on in the NFL besides our division.
Oh yeah.
We had 2 games last night, Monday Night Football. Buffalo Bills home opener. Tennessee Titans come to town, and they got spanked. I mean, it's no big surprise. Buffalo, like I said, before our season started,
they're looking good.
When you have a team that's, like last year, how it ended, very frustrating for the Buffalo Bills and their fans. And they just fed off of that, and they were angry, they were hungry, and that's how you open up a season. That's how you win games. Sanders, they came in, won their first game, and then they come in and at home at Ralph Stadium, Rich Stadium, whatever kind of stadium you call it. What is it? The New Air Stadium? I don't even know what stadium it is. But anyways, at the Ralph, Titans come to town. They left town with an ass whooping. And I don't see it. I don't see the Buffalo Bills slowing down at all. Hopefully by the time we play them, they'll be tired. But that's what the teams, that's what Jeff was trying to say about when you're playing a team, you need to blow them out. And if you can, just blow them out. Don't let them back into the game. And Buffalo didn't do that. And we're talking about last night, the Minnesota Vikings and their game. They lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's just,
Jalen is like I said, the maturation of this kid.
I told you, Sanders, in last show, I said, when I asked you, first game, who do you think is going to possibly make it to the Super Bowl? And one game. What do you mean one game? Well, I told you Philadelphia Eagles, and you're like, well, what are the Eagles doing? If you watch the game last night, they're just about as solid as the Buffalo Bills. So don't be surprised, folks. And I know this is a Pittsburgh Steelers show, and I know that we should be saying Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl. We're not crazy.
Well,
okay, things can happen.
We're a team that's rebuilding, so
things can happen. Yeah, if we make it to the Super Bowl, more power to us. But realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. Don't think we're going to make the playoffs. Can we? Sure. Every team out there has an opportunity to make the playoffs. But right now, I don't think so. When you talk about teams like the Buffalo Bills, it's crazy. And team like the NFC, you usually talk about the Cowboys or the Packers, but you don't talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. You look at them, solid, all facets, blue collar. They're there to play some football. And I would love to see a matchup between the Eagles and the Bills. That would be a fantastic game. I haven't checked the schedule. I don't even know if they're playing. They could be playing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
one thing we do actually we got to talk about as well is a game that was huge over the weekend was the New Orleans
yeah.
Saints
Oh boy.
versus the Bucks. Tied at 3-3 for a while until a melee.
Unhappy with the defensive coverage. Lattimore. He's talking. What'd you say? Did you say something to me? Oh, yeah. Fournette gets in there. Oh, Brady got touched. Oh, here comes Mike Evans. Get down. You don't touch. Whoop. You touch my quarterback? What? Get. Get off me. You don't touch Tom Brady.
Now, out of all that melee, I believe pretty boy Tom Brady didn't get any calls. He didn't touch anybody anyway. Nope. He just ran his mouth.
Yep.
And his star receiver is the one that's going to be out for a game.
Now, there is some history. I got to tell you, there is some history between Lattimore and Mike Evans. There's no love lost between those two. And it was too early in the game to be that amped up. However, we don't know what's said on the field. And that was just an opportunity for Mike Evans just to get out there and, just give a cheap shot at him. I mean, he wasn't even expecting it, but what's going on in the NFL? But you saw the fisticuffs out there, folks. I mean, people were throwing, punching, kicking. We don't know what's going on in the pile, and only 2 people get suspended. No, I'm sorry. Mike Evans is the only one that got suspended. The only one they both got flagged. It was offsetting penalties, but he was the only one who got suspended. But you saw that melee.
Oh, yeah.
There's more than 2 people involved there. Tom should have got a penalty because, I don't know, he got in his line of sight or something. And I don't know.
He spotted off something to him and it got her fired.
And
then, more or less. So the fact is, only 2 players got ejected from this melee that happened Sunday. Evans right there, as you see, number 13. Yeah. He was ejected, and so was Lattimore. So it's 2 high caliber players for each other's teams. Now they're out. So,
well, Lattimore's still playing next week. Mike Evans, he's got the day off, but I'm pretty sure that, the NFL might levy some fines, some, it's going to hit somebody in the pocketbook there because you got 10, 15 players right there, just rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, scrambling around. So,
yeah, that's what it's all about.
So folks, call in. Everybody decided to call once, and now the phone lines are open. It's 585-210-3917. If you're too shy, hit us on the chat board. But call us up. Thanks for Drew coming in. First time caller, long time listener to Steeler Nation Live. We love the new phone calls. And your boy down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I told you we got to block his number. I thought we blocked it. But it's great to hear from him. Granted, we all can't be perfect. He's a Cowboy fan. But
he'll learn. Eventually, it'll break him in.
Yeah, we'll get him. We'll send him that jersey.
But let me ask you this.
Sure.
Okay, now, Thursday night game, just like Jeff Reed said, the Steelers are going to be going. Now the Steelers are going away from Pittsburgh, Acrisure Stadium, going down to Cleveland Browns. They're going to play down there. It's always a hostile territory when we go down there. These guys are known for doing the dog pound, doing crazy stuff. Huge game for the Steelers. James, give me a score. And in a short week, the Steelers are not going to change a quarterback. So give me a score for this game.
All right. It's Boz is going to have a busy night. Okay. Let's see. I see the Steelers. Let's see. He's going to at least kick 4 field goals. So that's 12 points right there. I say Pittsburgh's going to win this one 20-17. And Boz is going to have a good workout. And I just don't see, unless, something happens from now and Thursday and they just let Trubisky beat Trubisky and do his own play calling and, give him at least a shot to win this game, not to not lose it, but to win it. I don't think you're going to see too much offensive productivity. As long as defensively, if the Pittsburgh Steelers could keep Myles Garrett in check and keep him, out of Trubisky's back pocket and, just allow him to throw the ball, Clowney's not going to be playing. A couple other defensive stars are not going to be playing for Cleveland. So, I mean, any additives we can get to help us out offensively is going to be huge. But defense is going to come up huge again, Sanders. You know, big plays on defense. I see Minka getting another INT, if not 2. I see, the rotation with the defensive ends that are, trying to fill the gap from Watt, DeMarvin Leal, Hayward out there on defensive end. Amazing. I mean, it's just a lot of things that the Pittsburgh defense has been doing to make up for the loss of TJ Watt. But
yeah,
it's 2017, Sanders.
2017. I'm thinking of a score of, like I said, the main thing is the Steelers have to be thought and cognizant of the fact of blitz heavy. That's what we didn't do in the New England game, which I didn't understand. Get that young quarterback in panic mode. And that's what the Steelers need to do in this Cleveland game. Get this guy in panic mode. They have a great run defense, and the Steelers got to be cognizant of that. They played well against New England against the run until late the game when it really mattered, to be honest, to try to get the ball back. Even if we did get the ball back, we probably wouldn't have done anything with it anyway. But that's the difference right there. The defense has to come out hard, and they got to know that our team runs through our defense. And that's the way Pittsburgh is garnered this year. That's the way they are created this year. You got quarterbacks that's going to struggle. And what people don't realize is even if we get another person in, it doesn't mean a difference. Guys, we got a call coming in. I'm going to try to get this call as well. Let's see what this is all about here on Steeler Nation Live. Let's see. Hey, yeah. What do we got on the line? Okay, there you go.
EMC Reggie Fresh from the EMC Reggie Fresh Morning Show.
Hey, Reggie Fresh. Long time no here.
Hey, let me give him an introduction. This is Reggie Fresh from Reggie Fresh Morning Show. We got to get him on the show during the season. But Reg runs the Reggie Fresh Morning Show, and he's out there. He's on the internet. He does a lot of things besides the football as well. Reg, what's happening, brother? I peeped your show, or I peeped the small snippet you did.
Stalker.
When he was out there, he was letting them have it about his whole thought process. Reg, give us your thought process on what you think is up with the Steelers right now at this moment.
Okay, first of all, man,
oh boy,
the quarterback, I'm not going to take nothing from him, but he belongs in Chicago. He's not a Steeler quarterback. We're going to get that straight, right?
Right.
Second of all, everybody's complaining about Big Ben, that the fans want Big Ben back, and they was complaining about Big Ben. Big Ben has nothing to prove. He's a Hall of Famer. It was time for Ben to go. So we got that straight.
Okay,
so, man,
he going.
my thing is, if we don't get that rookie out there, we're going to have a long season. I mean, see, this is what I'm saying to people. He is a rookie, and out of all the quarterbacks, he's the best option. But people got to understand that's his field. The same crowd he got for Pittsburgh in college, same Steeler crowd. So he's familiar with it. He's going to be okay. I don't know what the problem is.
Reg, let me ask you this, Reg. Let me slow you down. Smoke's coming out of these speakers here. Let me slow you. All right. So everybody's wish, they rubbed the genie lamp. The genie popped up. One wish. And everybody said, we want Kenny Pickett in. Got it. Kenny Pickett comes in. And he falls flat in his face. Now what?
Okay.
Now what?
Okay, listen.
I'm listening.
I feel that he's younger.
Mm-hmm.
See, I can make excuses for Pickett. We all see people can say, well, he's a rookie, and we'll feel more comfortable rookie than some veteran. That veteran got to go.
Yeah, but let me say this though. I'm playing advocate now. I'm just playing. I understand what you're saying.
I'm with
all
you.
Right, but you're not the first person who said that he's not a Steeler quarterback. Trubisky, that he came from Chicago and he was horrible in Chicago. The Chicago was bad too. So that's the same thing as you saying, well, if Pickett falls on his face, then he's just a rookie. You see where I'm going with this? So
I got you.
So now what? Now what?
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you're new to the game, I'm gonna give you a pass at least a year. I can't give Trubisky no pass. He's old. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm telling you, listen, check this out. Here's another thing is, the offensive coordinator. I'm gonna give him a little slack on this because he don't call the plays. Okay, I get that. But they get too much money, man. We got the top receivers in the business. There's no way that we should be running around playing like that. It's ridiculous.
He gets it. Reggie gets it. Reggie gets it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, y'all two on the panel right now. If you got them good receivers right there, you can throw the ball up and at least complete a pass.
Thank you.
Can't do nothing with this check down. That check down ain't gonna get it. All that 3-yard step back check down, they go back more yards than he throw the ball. That don't make sense to me.
No.
I can sit right in my living room, bruh, and watch every play that we play. I can call them. I can call them from my earphone and on my couch. I know what we're going to do. He'll stand in the shotgun, that means Najee going to get the ball and go straight up the middle and get messed up with a bunch of nuts.
Hey, didn't I tell you that?
I mean,
that's why I said we got to do a whole show segment with my boy Reggie Fresh. Reggie,
yeah, but I just had to get on the show.
Yeah, Reggie hits him in the head, man.
I think I peed a little.
I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I'm a diehard Steeler fan to the end. So it ain't too much a person couldn't tell me about my team because I don't miss no games since I was in Korea back in 1990. The game used to be before I can hear it. I get upset when somebody already tell me what the score is. I'm a diehard Steeler fan, folks. And if you're going to be a Steeler fan, you got to be a Steeler fan. We don't like losing. I hate losing. I don't care if we play Monopoly. I don't want to lose.
Nope. I hear you.
Hey, Reg, before I let you go, brother, hey, give me a score for this game versus the Cleveland Browns Thursday night.
All right, do you want me to give you the score if we play the way we did or if we play better?
Hopefully we're going to play better. Somebody's got to get their shit together.
Well, listen, the dog pound got more talent than we as far as the running back. They got it made. It's just that coaching staff and crew. They just ain't used to winning. That's their problem. But if we go down in that dog pound, I'm going to say if we lose, they're going to beat us by at least 2 touchdowns. But if we win, we'll win by 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
That sounds about right.
They're so damn confused in Cleveland. They got a dog pound and an elf.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean,
Cleveland had no business losing that game. See, it's another thing that people don't understand with our fans. We always have a low scoring game. We see other teams, they got big scores, but when you got big scores like that, it let me know you don't have no defense. I don't care how much you can score, you still got to stop somebody from scoring. So Lamar doing all that running for nothing, that makes sense.
The Reverend Reggie.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Reg,
man. I appreciate y'all, man, having me on here.
Hey,
absolutely.
Brother.
You call in, you know you're going to get on.
Hey, brother, like I said, you free to call in anytime, bro. And also, I got to get back with you because I want to get Reg in as a special guest on the show for one of our shows. So, like I said, this guy's a phenomenal Steeler fan. And if you want to hear some Steeler noise, you come in. This is the guy who's going to bring it to you. So, Reg, thanks again for stopping by tonight, brother. I appreciate you, man. Much love.
All right, man. Look, all the Steelers fans, I want to let them know I still got that song for Super Bowl 40 out there. Pittsburgh style.
That's it, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, my dog.
Roar, roar, roar.
Yeah, like I said, Steeler fans, we coming in all types, brother. And this guy's out there. I'm trying to remember exactly where Reg is. He's I think he's in Southwest somewhere. But the fact is that this guy, he hits hard, and he'll tell you, bro, he reps his Steelers and he reps them hard, man.
Oh, speaking of repping it hard, we want a shout out to Owen David from across the pond.
Oh yeah.
If folks check out his show, check out his podcast. It's Britsburg Owen. You could find him on Facebook, YouTube. Check this cat out. He's got the skills, he's got the knowledge, he's got the accent. If you don't like this New York accent, talk about the Steelers, you want to hear something different, check out Britsburg Owen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this guy's across the pond. I mean, he's got it. Check him out.
Oh yeah, that was a great interview. He stayed up late because
it's like 6 hours.
6 hour difference or whatever. So we were here starting our show at 6 Eastern time, like we usually do. And it had to be damn near midnight over there for him.
Yeah.
And he stayed up. He did the show. Great guy, great attitude.
Yeah.
This guy was phenomenal. I was trying to keep it short and he kept going. He said, hey, That's what I love. I love black and gold, and that's what we do it for.
Yeah, the crumpets and the Earl Grey tea, I guess. I don't know. Keeps you up. Keeps you going. No, a pint of Guinness doesn't hurt either, but yeah.
You ain't lying. Hey, guys, another fantastic show here on Steeler Nation Live. From your boy Sanders Tisdale,
James Owen, and Jeff Reed, former Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl champion, our guy.
Yep. And also, we want to thank all our callers for calling into the show. You guys make us get better. You help us get our ratings up, and the ratings are flying through the roof. So, guys, we want to thank you again. So, till we see you guys Tuesday. 6 p.m. Make sure you're there.
Same Steeler channel, same Steeler time.
With a win in Cleveland.